call the meeting to order at 6:02. Someone have a sentence?
Three's good.
And I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of May 10th, 2016.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of May 10th, 2016, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes with one abstention. Additions and deletions, we need to add, under new business, a dog warrant. And the contracts will deal with, two other contracts will deal with under highway, with Clerk is here. So
You
that,
also have, is it new for trash,
new for trash.
computer, video?
Yeah.
Oh,
Video.
yeah, that would be.
Okay. So, trash again.
Okay. Anything else I'm not remembering?
Yeah, well, probably we'll discuss it, like video, trash video, or whatever you wanna call it, but I think we ought to discuss somewhere there about upgrading our security cameras so that they're plainer, so we can identify.
We'll see, we've got one now, I need to get a recording, I've changed the angle of the one right on the corner so it's pointing toward the gate, and we may be able to enhance that for a license plate, we'll see. We'll talk about it, but we can replace cameras for very little money.
All right.
Lawnmower? 555 storage? Okay.
Yeah, Kurt was gonna bring that up, but we can add that under new business.
I think he's on a call now,
Okay.
so, I mean,
That's gonna leave a lot
I
of
don't
holes.
know why he's here.
Okay. Anything else?
I just have the contracts and, no, that's it.
Okay, so do you wanna hold off on the contracts for the highway until we have a chance to talk to Kurt?
No,
Or
I'd
I
go
want
past
that.
just go past it?
Bring it back later,
Yep.
see if he shows up.
All right.
If not, he'll.
Then we'll move on down to law enforcement. I believe there was
There's a bill.
a bill in that pile of warrants that detailed the month. Do you know where we are on the year with our costs with them?
We're good, actually. We're actually, I can find out real quick. I'll let you know here in a minute.
Okay. I was just curious how much of that money's been actually spent on patrol.
It's gonna work out within the budget. I think it's gonna perfectly work out within the budget. And then there's an offset with the fines. That's gonna be at least 3/4 of that. So we're doing okay with it.
All right, then town clerk, you all got a copy of the counter monies in your box? And the town treasurer?
Well, you have $976,640.74.
Okay, and when is the when are taxes due?
Friday.
Friday, it's coming.
This is coming Friday, so the school's gonna be 20 days out from that.
Yeah. And we got doodles some to take in tomorrow.
Okay.
And Friday we have.
I'm waiting for mine.
28th, so you go out 20 days, which is
It's about 16th, ain't it?
Three,
It'll be on the warrant for the 14th.
yeah.
I've already got the numbers in there. I just haven't printed it out yet.
How much is that school?
You're looking at the better part of 500 between the two of them.
All right.
A little over that, actually,
Yeah.
530 or something.
Are there any questions for the treasurer? Hearing none, then let's move on to the warrants.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 52401 in the amount of $8,648.18.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? If not, then all those in favor of paying warrant 52401, which is payroll taxes, or payroll, in the amount of $8,648.18, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve, check warrant report number 52402, payroll taxes in the amount of $3,436.
Okay, that's a different number.
That is a different number. I believe. Did I type it wrong? Right.
It's payment, is it the aggregates or is it the amount paid?
I have 2,294.40.
Right,
It should be the instruction to the treasurer.
that's 3436, which is what Kyle just gave
Okay,
us.
so it's the aggregate. Sorry about that.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving warrant 52402, which is payroll taxes, in the amount of $3,436, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052403 in the amount of $5,159.38.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? The only thing I have to say, and I brought this up at the time of the tax sale, included in that is a fairly substantial bill in that warrant for the warnings in the reformer for the tax sale that we just had. And I have no idea whether or not those costs have been included.
I'm beginning to add those up.
Okay, I think we actually need to have some kind of a definitive on that,
I-
because we keep getting bills and the number now is fixed.
I've started going through the files, but a lot of them are in the past.
Is it? Well,
There are a lot of-
We'll talk about that after, I think.
Well, there are a number of things that the delinquent tax collector, bills that the delinquent tax collector doesn't see because they come directly to the tenant, like legal ads in the reformer. Those never really get run past her, they end up here. And so when she does a final tally and figures out penalties and percentages and interest and all that, you come up with a finalized number. Plus, there were a number of bills that we paid for outside
Legal
attorneys.
counsel.
Legal counsel up in Bethel, Vermont, and wherever, a couple grand. So I don't know if that ended up in the final, she assured us that she had all the, or her lawyer had all the numbers, but I don't have a copy of that. So anyway, I'm in the process of redoing it, redoubling it, double dipping.
All right, so is there anything else? Hearing nothing, all those in favor of paying warrant 52403 from the town general fund in the amount of $5,159.38, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052404 out of the general fund in the amount of $718.70.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying warrant 52404 from the town general fund in the amount of $718.70, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052405 out of the highway fund in the amount of $7,594.65.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I suggest that we table this warrant until we see if our highway foreman comes so we can discuss that back engineering and the bill and all of that sort of stuff till he gets here. Because that's included in there,
It is
in that
included
one.
in that.
Right, and there was some concern, I mean, certainly if they've done that, but if his belief was that was part of the grant money or will be or whatever, I think we need to discuss that with the highway foreman.
So at this point in time, that
That's my
warrant
suggestion.
has been suggested to be tabled. Is there a consensus of the board that that should wait until Kurt can speak to it? Yes, no, maybe so?
Sure.
Yes.
Then we'll table that until Kurt comes in.
We'll table it until later, hopefully Kirk will come in, but if he doesn't come in, I'm gonna bring it back.
Well, no, I'm happy to bring it back. if-
Oh, no, we'll bring it back, you can withhold that portion of it, but there are other parts of it I think that need.
Okay. Next one.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052406 out of the highway fund in the amount of $3,630.
Huh? Something's wrong, that's not the right number.
I got 3630.
3360.
What did I say?
I literally have 3360.
That's 3630.
No, it's 3630.
Who the hell typed these up for you?
I'm beats me.
I did.
Okay.
A little tired today.
All right, is there a second?
Sorry, a second.
Is there any discussion?
This is the continuation of, not paying because we have yet to receive credit for the, highway signs, right?
Return signs.
Yeah, return signs.
Do you want to table that until you can talk to, after we haven't received anything?
Well,
so-
you could,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter, I personally would vote it down until we get, but I would say no.
Okay, so is there any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying warrant 52406 from the highway fund in the amount of $3,630 signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion is defeated.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052407 out of the highway fund in the amount of $600.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving warrant 52407 from the highway fund in the amount of $600 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
The motion passes. All right.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052408
Gone.
out of the equipment fund in the amount of $851.49.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. There's going to be a discussion. We can do it now or we can do it in conjunction with the next warrant. This includes a bill from Airgas.
Let's do it the next one. Is that-
Do it the next one? Okay. So this is the actual gas, I believe, in this bill.
Yeah.
Okay,
67.
so we actually owe that. We need to pay that one, so.
It is a materials charge.
Right, so then, is there any further discussion on that warrant? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying warrant 52408 from the equipment fund in the amount of $851.49 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion passes.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052409 out of the equipment fund in the amount of $271.80.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Yes.
Again, go ahead.
Okay, that specific warrant includes not only the 84 cents a day charge for the cylinders that we have, but it also includes an annual lease of $240, isn't it?
This is on welding
Yeah, so
supplies,
there's a
oxyacetylene tanks.
It's a cylinder lease renewal for this coming fiscal year.
Right, and it begins the 1st of June.
Correct, till the end of May.
So, given where we are, today being the 24th, I think? Yep. Then I don't think we should get this signed or send back the money, because then we're gonna be locked into a lease for a year. So this is, I've had a conversation with the highway foreman. He was not aware this was coming. Evidently, the company has been sold. This is a new policy. The 84 cents a day on the cylinders plus this annual fee. His suggestion was we just go with somebody else. But unfortunately, we just got a new tank delivered, and which is what we were paying for in the previous warrant. So now we've got a full tank of gas, a lease that's going to essentially expire as of the first of June. And we have to decide which way we'd like to go with that.
Well, have we done any investigation on who else you could go with and what the prices are?
Well, he did suggest, or he took a look at Dunkley's to see, the problem with Dunkley's is they had to actually take the tanks in themselves and switch them out.
Yeah.
We'll have to buy the tanks.
Right.
We'll have to buy tanks, and I don't know if it's, I don't know the economy on it, because I didn't do
Well,
the talking.
Well, I don't think
But-
he has yet.
Yeah.
When he was in the process of exploring, I just spoke to him yesterday about this.
Yeah, 'cause they're gonna say, let go, that's what he does, he has to take them down and exchange them.
Is that a lot cheaper?
But if he runs out of oxygen or acetylene, he don't have any more until he gets down there.
To change it,
Well, but for what they're charging us for delivery costs,
yeah.
Hazmat costs.
Hazmat
fuel
costs,
Fuel
yeah.
surcharge costs.
No, I can't, I'm not knocking that part of it, but I say, that's the way he does his, so they wouldn't,
well, I think they can plan their work to the point where they should have the ability to know when they're going to need gas.
So if we don't sign this contract,
We've never had a contract.
It's not actually,
Oh, okay.
we don't have, never seen a contract. It's, I'm assuming it's implied because the way the bill is states, it gives you a lease from June 1st through May
May 31st.
31st of next year. So by paying it, I'm assuming you're
You're
saying you're
agreeing
agreeing
to
to
it.
the contract.
well, I was just curious about how that reflects on the air gas that we just agreed to pay. That's,
Well, but that's a small amount of money. That was like $31.
For the gas
tanks,
itself,
yeah.
right. And we should get a credit back, although it'll be a special pickup. It's probably gonna be a wash.
Yeah.
And we may end up in arrears a little bit, but it's only tens of dollars, I'm assuming.
how did Kirk feel about doing that? I mean, I don't know.
What, changing?
Yeah,
First of all, he was very surprised as he sat here and told us, he was surprised that he at home is getting hit with exactly the same fees,
Yeah, yeah.
which he was not aware of, but he's under contract, he can't get out.
Mhm.
Whereas we've never signed a contract that anybody can recall. So he had no problem whatsoever switching to another supplier.
I can't believe they never had a contract, because they used to have one. I
We
was
used to, yeah.
I've never signed one in 3 years.
No, but
I
I say,
haven't seen
they used to
one.
be,
I haven't seen one in 5 or 6 that I know of. I mean, I've never seen one, but in 5 or 6 years, I know we
It's
have.
not even, it's not even a contract, it's just an invoice
probably when they,
Yeah.
maybe when they
Yeah.
changed over from,
Yeah.
for the lease.
So I
Warren
don't,
Graves, this new setup, that maybe
Yeah.
they never set a contract
We
there.
might not have.
so I mean, that includes the money, what was the actual amount, 240, isn't it?
240 for this one.
So 240 of that warrant is actually that lease.
And then it's,
The other 3180 is the last month, because I've
it's
listed
gonna
all
be
the bills.
$31.80 a month, or approximately, yeah.
Depending on the number of days per month at 84
Yeah.
cents a tank per day.
Yeah, I think,
you might wanna call Hal Coleman, there's an outfit from up north that comes to his place. My brother
yeah, I think
gets
we
it-
should investigate and see what other places are. I would,
My brother gets it from that guy, he gives Cal the money and, Hal the money and he pays it.
So does somebody want to amend the motion, the amount on that warrant to $31.80? And remove the 240, which is the annual lease, or do you want to just fill out the entire thing?
I'd fill the entire thing until we decide what
Wait
to
for,
do.
wait for a credit and
Yeah,
pick
wait
up
for-
if we're gonna get
because-
out of it, yeah.
Because if they come and pick up, they're gonna owe us. Anyhow.
No,
By the time the
no,
fuel,
because that's last month's. That 84 cents per day on those two
No,
tanks is
No, I
for
understand
last
that,
month.
but if they come, they're gonna give us credit for the gas that's in those tanks.
One would assume
That
so.
we just,
Well, they won't come pick them up probably till they're empty.
well,
Well, the thing is, they're not gonna get less than 84 cents a day either.
I don't know. But, I say, they probably, or maybe, I don't know, what they ever come every 2 weeks or what
I
they.
don't know, but I would suggest that we communicate with them and tell them that, please come get your tanks and we'll do whatever else and you can credit us for what's in there. right? I mean,
That's fine. Right now, the only thing we're going to owe him is the $31.80. So that may wash from the credit.
Well, we can clean that up at the next meeting.
Yep.
By then we'll have better information.
All right.
And we're not 30 days out on this at any,
So is there any further discussion on this?
we'll get this all cleaned up by the end of the year.
See, this is what I want to
Yeah,
say, but I can't.
I know,
So all those in favor of paying warrant 52409 from the town equipment fund in the amount of $271.80 signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Motion is defeated.
Make a motion to approve check warrant report number 052410 out of the equipment fund in the amount of $3,120.
Is there a second?
second.
Is there any discussion?
It's the same thing on and on, the B&B change. We haven't ever got that straightened out yet, so.
Well, supposedly we were going to have 2 sets picked up and we were going to receive credit. That has not happened,
No,
just kind of like the
we
sign.
used 2 sets, the other ones were gonna be,
3 of them were going back?
I believe, yeah.
So
I thought he said he used 2.
We did say he used 2, but I thought there were only 4.
Well, I don't know, I'd have to actually look, actually look.
But anyway, there's still not, we've not seen a credit.
No,
No, they're still up there, they were up there on Sunday when I was there.
they ain't picked the chains up yet, right?
Okay,
Who wants chains this time of year?
is there any further discussion?
Townsend,
We do.
Yeah.
That's why we're on.
highway foreman, whatever.
Is, hearing none, all those in favor of paying warrant 52410 from the equipment fund in the amount of $3,120 signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstentions, the motion is defeated. Okay, again and again. Next month, starting in June, these long-term ones that are 6 months out are gonna start getting shredded. Just cause.
No, you're ahead this time, huh? You're past 6, failed 4.
That's all right. Or 50%. All right. Members of the public, did you have something you wanted to speak to us about? Not specifically, just the Knox Box piece on the, okay. Then, under correspondence, we need to add, a note which did they get those notes?
Yeah, I think everybody got a copy of that.
Copy of a note from Kristen Palmer and Maya LaBelle. Did you get that? Okay, I know the last I heard about that we were waiting for a response from our health officer, which is Dr. Schaefer. Did we actually get some kind of a response from Dr. Schaefer?
I talked to him briefly. He does not feel that there's an imminent health issue, but he will follow up with the landlord. Most of this complaint deals with a dispute, and the issue is 6-7 weeks old as well. With regard to going in and inspecting, I didn't get a commitment out of Dr. Schaefer on that, but at this point in time, the issue was a heating issue dating back to April 1st. There's no heat necessary at this time of year. As a matter of course, so he was in no hurry to do that, but he was going to talk to the landlord about it. I told him I would try to as well.
So at this,
But I just need to correct it, it doesn't date, it may start at April 1st, but it's still an ongoing issue as of May 19th.
Yes, it is. It's still an ongoing issue. And his feeling was he will try to get a hold of the landlord on this and see what can be done.
so until we have some kind of a response from the
Dr. Schaefer.
Yes. the health officer, we can't really do much with that.
Well, I was looking for his advice because the Board of Health really can't convene. We received I was here, Kathy was here as well for one of the testimonies in person. I requested it in writing. It came to the board rather than to the health officer. I immediately got it to him, seeking his advice so that the Board of Health either would convene or not. But you can't just sort of do it at your option. You need something from him to give you a warrant to do it.
All right, so then moving on to the Board of Health, we had another issue that has been in the background. It was a complaint that was filed about trash accumulating outside. A letter was written And at this point in time, I believe drive-by has shown that the trash has not been removed.
About half of it has been removed, and I would recommend on that we actually go inspect and see what's there.
We inspect or the health officer inspects?
Yeah, we, the town's health officer, or the emergency management director.
Well, at this point in time, we cannot
No,
take
we
action as a board of
can't.
health
No,
until
we
we
can't.
have a complaint that's come to us from the health officer.
That's right.
So at this point, since they don't seem to want to respond to an informal letter,
The complaint came anonymously to the health officer because bags of trash were building up in front of the premises. And the complaint, and we had visited this issue a number of years ago. The complaint included the fear that varmints and insects and whatever would get in there, that it would be a breeding ground for. I talked to the health officer and I wrote the owner a letter, which you have a copy of, indicating that you would be meeting, well, 2 meetings ago, and there was a desire that this be cleaned up to preclude the Board of Health meeting and taking an action which would get expensive and complicated. The individual, the owner, did actually clean up about half of it. I don't know the contents of the bags, but there's still quite a pile there. And I don't know that we can do anything until we actually know what's in them. If it's styrofoam, then they're
Well, I
really...
think we need direction from our health officer.
Right, but
That's
what we need right now is an inspection, because there was an effort made, and a rather noble effort to clean all this up, but that was before rain up day. And,
I think that we need to write Dr. Schaefer and ask him either to inspect, or if he wants the Board of Health to inspect, for us to proceed. I don't think that we want to do it ourselves without him
No.
as the health officer. So I think we're gonna, it's kind of like awaiting his instructions.
We'll get on that this week.
We'll get on tomorrow.
okay, then the other one that we postponed from the last time is the liquor license that, for the new owners of Huntingville Store that are working under the corporate name of 3JS LLC. So I would entertain a motion to approve,
It's liquor and tobacco, I believe.
is it liquor and tobacco?
I believe it's the second page.
Yes, it is, liquor and
Yeah.
tobacco. Approve the first and second class liquor license and tobacco license for 3JS LLC.
First and second, John?
It says first and second class?
Kathy, you looking for a motion for that?
Yes, please.
They make a motion to approve the first and second class.
How did they need to own it? Wasn't that a question?
That was the question, and we've jumped through the hoops and found out that in fact, part of the sale agreement is that all the permits be in place. So the liquor department is aware of the fact that this is happening, that she needs the permits to actually close on the sale. The license won't actually switch over until such time she takes possession.
It won't take effect, but she needs
Of the
to line
building.
this up for the bank to...
But the other license that says now will be no good after the.
Second.
Okay, so you seconded the motion.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there any further discussion?
Kyle made the motion.
Trying to get half of it.
Better half.
So, all those in favor of approving the first and second class liquor license and tobacco license for 3JS LLC signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes. Now, pay attention to your right and left columns, because one's approved, one's disapproved.
Yeah, we screw that up.
It's happened in the past.
Not this one.
Okay. So while we're passing that around, let's do the Knox box policy. You all got a copy of the proposed document in your box, or I guess you were handed one as well.
I have extra copies. I need it here. Need a copy or kit? Anybody?
No, we got one.
Okay.
Okay,
basically with this, there's not a lot of difference in what was originally written. What I did was take into account some of the comments that we had the last meeting, plus some follow-up, and it's just adds a couple of points. Other than that, I think it's ready to go. At least go to implementation.
I'm sorry, I was
It's okay.
answering the question.
Other than just a couple of comments, a little bit of formatting changes, and taking into account some of the discussions we had the last time, I think it's ready to go. I think we're ready to go forward with implementing, and moving forward with getting them out in the field and getting the boxes filled.
Okay, just a curiosity, Kyle, are you aware, I know Rescue is involved today in some kind of a Wyndham Central type of a discussion, which would involve schools that currently have the Knox boxes. Do you know if that was any part of the discussion?
I was at a separate meeting today,
Oh, okay.
so I brought it up.
Okay. Yes, it would really be nice to let the schools know before they're into their school year that in fact the keys are now out. They can contact certain individuals to be able to get into their boxes if they want to put their keys in or whatever before they all disperse for the summer like seeds from a dandelion.
What I was thinking is that I just get in touch with these point of contacts at the different buildings. Make an appointment with them and get them in there myself.
Okay.
That way, there's less of who's doing what, and it just gets done.
Okay.
And then I haven't had a chance to discuss with the fire chief what we were talking about last time. Just time ran out on me. So I plan to get that done in the next couple of weeks and get his input on actual implementation. But at least this gets us to moving forward. You know,
And that
get
was-
the keys out.
That was one of the, I'll say promises, but it was an implicit promise to the institutions, Grace Cottage and the two school systems, that if they were to buy Knox boxes, that they would be on a regular basis updated as to who had the keys, or at least who was managing the keys, because we didn't have an emergency management director at that point in time that we knew was going forward. So it would be good if you introduced yourself, and indeed, if you actually opened up the boxes and
Yeah,
put something in them, just so they can put a name to a face and have some confidence that this is actually, and then if you do have a distribution list, that should probably go to each of the schools, and probably Grace Cottage at some point in time. I mean, even if it's a verbal, just so that you
Are
can,
these keys marked, do not duplicate on them?
they're not duplicatable. They're a very special keyway.
Yeah, no, but I say,
Yeah, I can order them, but they're custom cut. It's Medico keyway.
they're serial numbered as well, so that
Yeah.
every one of them. If you had to make a police report, you have a serial number, a unique code for a theft.
Is there any question on that, or are we pretty well satisfied that we will have control of the keys once they leave the town hall?
I think it looks fine.
All right,
And this is a policy that can be amended.
this is actually isn't a policy, it's an agreement.
Yeah, that's an agreement, but it can be changed. in future.
Right. So I'm assuming then that we're all in agreement, we should go ahead with this. I'll entertain a motion to accept the key assignment agreement as written.
So moved.
Is there any discussion on that? No? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the Knox box key assignment agreement signify by saying aye.
aye,
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. So if you could let us know who actually ends up with the keys,
Absolutely.
that would be,
I need it printed, we now need to work on a sign-out sheet.
I got a copy.
There you go. Yep, that's fine.
that would be great.
Would it be good to have who's appointed the keys with the serial number of the key that each person has?
That's what I'm saying, a sign-out sheet.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna have to sign for it by key number.
My thought is we'll take a 3-ring notebook and it'll go, everybody that gets a key assigned to them has to sign this, they'll get a copy of it, we'll keep a copy of it, and we'll have an individual inventory of the keys that we can just pick up and, hey, where's your key? You know, if this expands into something further than what it is now, it's still a little redundant right now because we can all keep the amount of people in our heads. But if it gets any bigger, at least there's steps in place.
Okay, well, then I guess you and Craig can work out the details, because currently the keys are in residence in the building, so.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else that you had for
I
us?
think we're good.
Oh, good, good enough, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Officer appointments, has there been any movement on any of the open vacancies?
Okay.
So,
And bear with me half a second. We've been through that. We've done that. We did that. We did all those. We got through there.
he talks to himself too. Pretty amazing, huh? Oh, no, he's gonna hand me something, I don't know anything about it.
That's where we are right now. So if you just want to review the open slots.
All
It's
right.
not very many, but there's one or two that are.
Okay, so at this point, we do not have a representative for Senior Solutions. We're missing one fence viewer, a floodplain administrator, here we go again with that one. We do not have a deputy health officer. The Recreation Committee has two people that need to be filled. Social Services has nobody, so that's 1, 2, 3 seats. Business Loan Committee is missing one. Town Service, no, we've got one there. Visiting
The
nurse-
loan committee is the revolving loan committee. It had been the business association. You can put as many people on that as you want. It had been 2 or 3 people. I was on it for 1 year with Carol Mills, and somebody else that wasn't involved. But that hasn't been active in a long time, but it's still out there. It's a fair chunk of change. But there isn't anybody to oversee it at this point.
Okay, so.
Should there be a request?
We have 1, 2, 3 on Social Services. We have, where's the caller? Good. I thought we had another, yeah, we do have another opening in Wyndham Regional. So if you know anybody that wants to fill any of those slots, that would be very helpful, particularly Senior Solutions and Wyndham Regional.
Senior Solutions, I asked, talked to Alice about that.
Mhm.
She said no.
She said no.
'Cause I knew she had something to do with it, you know, over here when they had the senior meal, so I asked her, and she said no. She had enough going on.
Like I said, the Social Services Committee, Screening Committee, we don't need to worry about right now, but that will become important.
We need to be running pretty soon, because
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah. It'll be on there pretty
October,
quick.
November, they
We're gonna have to do it, we're gonna have to put a committee together to do it anyway, so,
Just like we did
Can I
last
have
year.
this one?
can you have that one? Sure. Okay. So then the next one would be the notices updates, have we done any of our 3 notices?
No, but I should have the hospital, the lease agreement by the end of the week on that.
Okay, are we gonna try to get all 3 notices posted at the
We're gonna
same
try to
time?
get them, we're gonna try to get them all done in June.
Okay,
Get them in the paper and get them scheduled for June.
all right, and then, equipment loan. We talked about this, what?
I know, I'm sorry, I'm just talking to myself.
We talked about this last meeting. And the fact that we had very little left on the equipment that needed to be paid off.
Right.
So we'll just put this on hold for a minute and run back up to the top and
Yeah,
start.
well, let's just finish up, right? I mean, Kurt's here.
Well, but we don't, whatever.
Oh, I don't care. I don't mind.
Okay, so basically what it amounts to is the amount owed total is $37,320. And I can't remember how much was in the fund.
27.
29.
29, rather.
So we have currently in the reserve, we have just under $30,000. And we owe a total on all equipment of $37,320.
37 as of July 1st. We have another payment to make, or 2
Before
payments to
that.
make one payment, I guess it is, in
Right.
June. But it's just on 2 vehicles, T2 and T3, that carry beyond July 1st, and,
Just so I'm clear though, we owe 37,000.
we
Yep.
will for the next couple of years.
Oh.
That's the total for, out until 2019.
On finance vehicles.
And we have 30 to
But
pay that
there's
off.
approximately 30
To
in
pay
the
it
bank, it's been sitting there, you guys haven't used it in 4 or 5 years. We took the compactor money out of that when we bought the compactor to offset the cost of the compactor. But that equipment fund has been idled for a long, long time. And there's an opportunity here for maybe $6,000, $7,000 just to basically pay off the vehicles, own the title to them, clean and clear, and get out from under on the Vermont Equipment Loan Fund.
Do you know how much that's costing us in monthly payments or however you're doing that, in interest?
There, do you have copies stapled on there that shows the interest breakdown? You don't, okay.
I'm just kind of thinking out
Yeah,
loud.
that's
And
good.
Kurt, I mean, we got, if you got 30,000 on equipment
The bank
fund,
might be making more than what we're gonna save.
It's 2%,
that's what I'm wondering.
that's 2%
It was
money,
always
right?
like 2% or 2%.
It is 2%.
It's 2% money.
Right.
So I was just wondering if we're not better off to have that 30,000 if a piece of equipment breaks down and we need it for a down payment or to replace a piece or something like that. That if we deplete that 30,000
We'll be taking
and,
all out, yeah.
and then a transfer, something goes
But that's
to.
only good, that 30,000 is between now and the end of June.
Okay.
But it's been rolling over year after year.
No,
after
but I'm
year.
saying that at the end of June, there's a whole new,
Yeah, but it stays in the equipment fund.
oh yeah, but there's still a whole bunch of money set up towards equipment as of the 1st of July. The new budget.
How much is a whole bunch?
Oh, I forget what it was that they,
I just get concerned that we deplete the equipment fund and not have anything there, and we're talking about a 2% interest piece that's, I don't know. if
But you
something-
see-
Well, the argument is that you can borrow money for 2%.
Yeah.
And we're
Oh,
not
no.
getting any interest on the money that's in the bank year after year.
Right, that
And this
30,000
town,
is just
this town
sitting
is sitting on, if you take all the departments, you're sitting on $500,000 that's idled on the sidelines, one way or the other. I mean, the biggest chunk of it is in the pumper fund, there's 200,000 for a fire truck, and we need that money. I'm not questioning
Well,
that. But nonetheless.
You can't include that in the discussion.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, the taxpayers have raised a fair amount of money, which is basically banked. And we haven't used this money in 7 or 8 years. It's been just sitting, essentially.
But-
And it is there for important reasons, but we don't seem to ever use it.
What's the turnover time of getting our money? I know we get new money coming in July, but it does take a little bit of time for our next tax.
And that's what I'm saying, I mean, I get concerned if we deplete these monies, you talked with the planning commission about taking their money that they used and getting rid of it. I think if you deplete all of these things, you're gonna put yourself behind the 8 ball somewhere. I'm concerned about doing that, but that's.
Well, I disagree, I'm kind of following the opinion that we keep raising money that we're not spending, and it's just sitting. And I think we've got an awful lot, as Craig was saying, we've got an awful lot of money spread into fictitious little accounts that just sits forever.
Like what?
Well, let's talk the town plan fund.
The town plan
The town
is,
plan fund
it's
is-
2,000 a year for 5 years to do that. I mean, but that's a regular
This money is
ongoing thing.
needed.
Part of the reason this came up is that for the first time in my memory, the actual amount that we owe is down below anything which is really significant. I mean, $37,000 is very, very low compared to what we've had and we haven't
I
bought any new
understand
equipment.
that, so I think that as we're paying that off, I think that it's prudent that we have something, that's my opinion.
What was that account earmarked for this coming fiscal year? Is it just rolling over, and were we contributing to it?
We're not contributing to it.
Just sitting
It's sitting there, but it's been contributed to, it's a reason, and we don't need to keep adding to it. It's not money that we're raising again.
Yeah, but whatever you raise for equipment, your surplus this coming year will be the same way.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, because quite frankly, we don't have end of the year numbers yet, which was one of the things that we weren't talking about. When we got a handle on where we were with surplus deficit, it would be within our purview to look at the possibility of paying off these loans and starting the year completely fresh if we have a surplus. So that's why this has come forward. It was not to make a decision tonight, but we need to be aware that there is $30,000 sitting in an equipment fund, and at this point in time, we owe $37,320 on the vehicles that are financed. All right, going backwards. I'm not sure where to start with you.
Warrants,
We have a table warrant number, excuse me.
That's
five.
the
right,
air gas.
the air gas warrant.
We talked about that today.
Just a second, let's find the air gas warrant again.
I have it right here.
Make the motion.
And which one was it?
Number 5.
There it is. Okay, so that's not the air gas warrant, that's back.
Back engineering.
Back engineering then?
There,
Does that have the warrant in here?
that's 5, 1-5.
Yep.
I wrote down, we tabled number 5.
Yep.
And number 5 is back.
Right, I'm sorry,
Don't
that's,
discuss
yeah,
it.
that's right, that's what I wrote down.
Okay, so, I know you and I have spoken. Can you kind of explain to everybody else how that came about, that $652.50 for
Right.
that?
To do, to fill out the grant form, remember, we talked about that, I mentioned at the meeting, we had Beck do it, because we just got done with Everett Hammond doing it for Grafton Road last fall. And, I thought that was part of the engineering, because we had paid for the engineering, which we did with Everett Hammond, and he filled out the grant form, because they had all the information to do it. And, not known to me that they were gonna charge that much money to do that. I thought that was all part of the money we already paid for the engineering. And before I even called them, remember I talked to you guys about it and said I'll call back and have them fill out the grant form.
So the confusion that's come
Yes.
forward is that I have a copy of an FY16 grant for Bridge 42. That seems to be all filled out already. It's got all,
Last year's, yeah.
it's got all the engineering studies and whatnot. So what specifically were we asking him to do?
That was the year before. The year before I got the engineering money for that grant. Not the grant for the bridge.
This is structure.
This is a structure, this is for the bridge, this was a grant.
2014.
We were turned.
This is 16.
16.
This is 16.
Yeah, we were turned down for that. We put it in every year. This was engineered back in 13, I think.
I put a grant in for the engineering, right?
Right, and it came in 2 parts. There was a first part, and it was heavy loaded, and then at the end, there was a little bit of cleanup or something that Beck did. We paid them 2 checks to do the engineering. And at that time, back when they were doing the engineering, you applied for this, we got turned down. And it's a big chunk of change. And we've had other grants for other big projects. And as you said, you get one year, you gotta wait 2 or 3 years to get another one. So anyway, we've been pretty constant, you've been pretty constant in applying for those.
Correct.
And it's coming up again this year. That one, I believe, is for last year,
That should be for
that
last
Kathy's got.
I
And
filled it
it's-
out for last year, not for this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Beck did this,
But
I
did-
fill it
did-
out every year for this bridge.
Did Beck already send you the in? I mean,
They did.
They did, okay.
So what was it that we had to ask for Beck's help? I think that's the question. What changed?
Because did that have all the engineering with it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 4 or 5 pages of all the Beck's engineering drawings and the testimony from Kurt, somebody else, the hydrologic study from
Yeah,
B-Trans.
I got the hydraulics, I put it in there.
That's right, I
So
can't quite,
this is all grant application work. It's not doing any of the studies. This whole thing is
right,
the communication.
I've been applying for this bridge since 2013.
right, and I think the question is,
Why do we have to do it this year?
yeah, what changed from 2016 to 2017 that he had to be involved in? That's the question.
Absolutely nothing, but I had them do it, hopefully with the engineer doing it, that's,
Okay, so
we just had Everett do it, so I thought they got everything just put it through like Everett did.
Okay, so nothing really actually changed. Alright.
But we already had the grant and it already been approved, right? Cause I'm
No.
No, there's two parts of the grant. One was an engineering part, the
No,
other
I've
was
been
the
applying for the grant for the bridge since 2013.
That's right.
They wouldn't approve the bridge in 2013, but they'd give me a grant for engineering, which they did.
Yeah.
So the next year I applied for the grant for the bridge, which they didn't give me the grant for the bridge. So this year I back applied for the grant for the bridge. But I thought that was part of the engineering.
It is not.
It is not.
Clearly.
Well, because Beck is not acting as a general contractor on this, overseeing the construction work or the installation work,
But we have nothing.
which Hammond was.
We had nothing set up for that yet either.
Apparently not, but Hammond was, that was definite with Hammond when he took that on. He was set up to be the, whatever you want, general contractor, for lack of a better term. To oversee Renault Brothers.
But before we even had him as a general contractor, we had to get the grant first.
Oh, no, and that was a two-part also.
And that was the engineer.
From him.
He engineered it and sent in the grant.
And we talked to him about it, because it was gonna be a relatively complicated.
And then after that, it came in, he was a general contractor.
And we kept him on at that. There was an upcharge for that, we kept him on at that.
For this year.
So two different
Two different years.
two different engineers, the way they do things, right?
All right, so that warrant was tabled. Would you like to bring it forward and vote on it? All right. So, do you need a motion to bring it forward? I'm not sure.
It's already on the table, basically. You just-
Okay. So then, the maker of the motion was Kyle, I believe. It was seconded by Rob.
Yep.
Right, is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying, cool.
There are other things on that warrant.
Paying warrant 52405 from the highway fund in the amount of $7,594.65, signify by saying aye. Opposed, abstentions? The motion passes with one abstention. Okay, now to the air gas.
Yeah. We talked about that. As soon as we're done with these tanks, since we don't have a contract, nobody knows, we don't have a contract. Nobody knows anywhere we have a contract. Like myself personally, I had a contract with Airgas. They just got bought out by a new company this past December. I am changing also from the company because their prices have gone through the roof. So I'm gonna call Maine Gas, which Eddie Smith gets, and their prices are cheaper, and Douglas, and see which of the two are cheaper, and if Maine will deliver here also. So we're gonna get rid of
We
Airgas.
also had another suggestion that who Coleman's deal with.
Al Coleman.
Who's he deal with, Maine?
Somebody, comes from up north, I think. My brother gets it from him, he leaves the money there with Al. They deliver to Al.
Yep, I can call help.
Well, one of the issues that we have tonight was the annual lease
Yes.
is due, well,
June
the,
first.
the new year starts June 1st.
Okay,
So technically, we need to not pay that bill.
and they're gonna put your cancel.
Well, that's what we're gonna have to do. Somebody needs to call and basically tell them that we are not entering into a lease agreement with them for a year, and that they need to come get their tanks, which means they're gonna have to credit you, with the tank that you just got. Now, along with that $240 on the lease, there was also the daily charge for the month of April, it would be. The 84 cents per tank per day. We made the decision, when we defeated that, not to pay any of it, because there should be a credit on the tank, on the gas in the tank that goes back. And
Number
then
one, we were never notified either of the daily charge. I mean, they just gave it to us, right?
This
You guys
happened.
mentioned that, remember?
Yeah.
Last meeting. I gotta look at my bill, and they're doing the same thing to everybody now.
It
well,
happened pretty quick.
I think the thing
Sale
is,
just went through.
we need to see whether or not what the credit washes with the 31 that we're gonna owe them. We currently owe them $31.20 for 84 cents a day for 2 tanks, for last month. And when we get the credit, we'll see how we wash out. We might owe them a couple, they might owe us a couple. So if you could notify them that we are done, we will not be paying that. And then the other one that we also talked about and failed again tonight is B&B. Are they gonna come get your chains?
Well, I called them West Times. They would like to drop the price of the special they had last fall and rebill us for it. It's just a commodity, it's not gonna go bad. We'll just carry it over to next year.
So they'd go down to the original,
Yes.
price.
But it's on this year's money.
Yeah, it is in this issue.
Unless you fail it until July 1st.
And then next year we have to order chains all over again, and I think we're in pretty good shape this year for a winter budget.
We're gonna hold you to that.
So basically. Morning.
Find the button.
We can still hear that.
So basically, do you want to accept the chains at the revised price and go ahead and pay for
We
them
need
and
to
just
get
hold
a
them?
new bill.
We need to get.
Well, I'm absolutely agree, but is that what we want to instruct?
Yes,
Clerk to
I would
do.
think, so.
We
So,
always have a few pair of chains left over, we carry for next year,
so if you could have them, have them
I
do
couldn't hear that thing was,
We always have a few sets of chains left over from the previous year that we carry over to next year anyways.
you know, you ordered 5 sets
Yeah, we use
in the spring.
1.5.
So,
We use 1.5 sets.
So if you could get them to send us
Yep.
a bill with the
I told
corrected
them that.
amount, and then we'll get that finally cleared up, because we're pushing almost 6 months
Right.
on that. All right,
No, actually, that was just.
2 more.
That was 2 months. So you're thinking of.
oh, I'm thinking of the signs. Well, speaking of which,
Did you get a bill for the sides yet?
no,
Oh my god.
we failed it again tonight. We're gonna have a spectacle at the next meeting with a shredder on the table, and that bill's gonna go away.
I got the new Sawdust Alley sign, I got the new Burby Circle sign. I tell these guys to send me a new bill. When they send me new signs, because they've come to the town hall, they have not sent a new bill.
I think you mail every week. I see those signs back.
They pick the old ones up? Well, we can't pay that bill until we find out what the credit's gonna be on.
I call them right after every meeting and during the.
Okay. And then let's see, the new one, or 2 or 3 or 4, that have come forward is on your magnesium chloride.
Yes.
Were you aware that there was essentially a price contract attached to that?
No.
Well, on the back of the paperwork that was turned in, it basically talks about 4,500 gallons delivered to Townshend at 77 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
You got a fixed price quote.
You got a
Yes.
fixed price quote, we have to essentially sign it and send it back.
7 cents. Well, they are 11 cents cheaper than the nearest one, so,
So
per gallon.
technically,
But it is time sensitive, I think.
yeah, it was,
No, they said nothing about that when I called up to get prices.
Okay.
so where are we?
I've never even seen that, Kathy.
Any claim, no, basically, the price was good, only good for 10 days, the quote, and
It was good for the season if you signed in.
if you signed in, right,
Yeah,
and we're past the time,
but 77 cents is a good price, I guess.
well, it is, but we're past the time, so we gotta find
Yeah,
out
but-
if they're gonna.
How can they do that when if we don't have meetings in that time frame?
Well, they did.
Well, that's their standard contract.
So we have to, you have to call them and see if that's.
Well, this came in a couple of weeks ago, I don't know where.
I've never seen it.
it was faxed on
23rd, something like that.
April 19th.
Oof.
That's a month ago.
So whose writing is on the bottom there?
I don't know,
Cell phone.
is there a cell number, and is that, somebody's writing's on the bottom?
This is the first that we heard about it too.
Well, and the only reason I found it is.
Well, we didn't have a contract with them last year, we didn't sign anything.
And I never seen.
I know we do with Cargill, we don't with Sosasano, I mean, it's a fixed price,
So
and we haven't with these people.
the price is valid from April 19th to September 30th. But you have to initial it and sign it and send it back. So I think we need to make sure that
Price hasn't changed.
the price hasn't changed.
Right. Yeah, because they were 11 cents cheaper than an air cylinder, which is Allstate. We bought from Allstate for years. too.
Well, and then they're gonna need to be made aware of the fact that it won't get signed until when? June what?
June,
Well,
14th?
Can't we do that and then just,
We can, as long as it's the
Same
price is the
price.
same.
I mean, we could take a census of the board now, I think that they would authorize you to sign it.
Yeah. that's
Or
what
sign a
I-
contingent upon the price being the
If
same.
the
Right,
price,
if the price is the same, then it would
if I
be.
make the motion that the chair sign it if the price hasn't changed.
Second.
Is there any other discussion on that?
Innovative systems.
Surface Solutions.
no, it's surface.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of having the chair sign the innovative surface solutions, that's hard to say. If the price remains at 70 cents a gallon, after confirmation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, the motion passes. So if you could call, and tomorrow would be perfect, because if you call tomorrow and you let Craig know, I won't be leaving town until early on the whatever day it is. Thursday, so I can get it signed and we can get it faxed back to him. So that needs to go on the clipboard for signature. All right. So I think that was all the little oddball things that were popping up. Do you have something for us?
We should have him look at a Chevrolet, blue Chevrolet.
Oh, yes.
Well, we also wanted to talk, I mean, you're gonna give us a report, but I think you wanted to talk about a lawnmower, something about the lawnmower.
The shed.
The shed, yeah. I think that's a great idea. If you utilize it in the winter time and the summertime, the machine can stay here. It should have power in it to plug the little tractor in the winter time.
We talked about that when the driveway it was in the plans when the driveway went in out here, in fact, before the plans was to put up a small building and some lighting, because in the wintertime, this was a bear to get up and down these stairs, and it's hard to access the door. But anyway, some sort of parking lot light, a shed out there and then we ended up getting storage at the fire department, but they no longer have room.
Right.
So,
For those of you, you're kind of coming in the middle of the conversation.
I heard nothing about it.
Me neither.
We're
I
having,
heard about it today.
Must be the other group did.
I heard about it today.
well, no, it has to do with the gates and the illegal dumping and all of it together.
All of it.
Because the last time that somebody went out to get the tractor and the mower, the gates were left open, and that's when we had the illegal dumping, which we'll deal with in a minute. And so we were talking about how we could stop that, having the gates open when the tractor was going out to get the mower, or not the tractor going out to get the mower, when they were going out to get the tractor, anyway. And one of the solutions was putting it here in the town hall. It won't go downstairs because it's got a low deck, as I understand
Does
it.
not fit downstairs.
And so we were just discussing the possibility of putting a small shed in the parking lot out back that could be locked, so that we wouldn't have to transport it on a trailer anymore. We could actually drive it where it needs to go. So that's
Well,
the piece that was missing.
the mower himself, the person we contract for mowing, no longer has a truck. So he's using the town truck, the Ford, with the trailer.
How did that get started? Him just taking the truck? I mean, we usually just let people, casual laborers, just take the,
Well, casual laborers have driven out here, you know, without license and stuff, that's what he does. Drives a town mower to get the town mower down here.
But there's no formal employment arrangement with him. It's not like the select board hired him. I mean, you did
Right.
it. You've done it year after year with Brian and also for some, you do it on a handshake.
Mike.
There's nothing signed on paper.
Exactly.
And if he got hurt,
So far.
if he got hurt badly somehow or other, in the truck or otherwise, I'm not sure how our insurance policy would look at this whole thing. But anyway, he used to use his own truck to bring the mower down, and the mower used to be at the fire department as well. In previous times.
No,
Yeah.
it was at
No, it,
That was at
what's in
in that
there?
lease.
In that lease.
the snowblower was.
The snowblower
It was at the dentist the last time the mower was.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
The mower was
Yep.
at the dentist, yeah.
Yeah.
We can't have any sort of arrangement like that with anybody in town?
I don't know.
Oh, we had 2, 3 of them, and they all had to have the space, so
Well, tell them
that
they
pretty
can't
much
have it.
ended it.
Tell them too bad.
Huh?
Tell
I
them too
know,
bad, we
but
need it.
The people wanted the space, and that ended the story there.
I mean, I don't necessarily object, I don't know what the
I just
cost
find
is.
that
I
by
think
the
we gotta
time-
find out the cost and that sort of thing. I mean, you know, just what comes to mind.
Well, I just
Liz-
find
Liz
every
Gary's
time we
got
do
another
something, we
round
end up
across
with a
the
building
street.
down there, and then we got insurance on the building, then we have to have electrified,
Yeah.
water running to it,
Then it
a
gets-
toilet in it,
Yeah,
signs on it,
yeah,
and everything else.
That's right,
By the
no,
time we
just-
get done, we could just buy a new mower,
I agree.
or buy Mike a new truck,
Well,
and
one of
call
the-
it close enough.
Because one of the things that I was gonna say is, or ask, do we know what that costs us a year to do the mowing?
Yes.
I mean, we
Should-
might,
should be.
if we get that, it might be cheaper for us or better for us to contract that out to, there's enough
Service.
people around that do lawn services now. They don't have to worry about insurance and somebody getting hurt and the mower breaking down and storing the mower and that kind of thing. I think that we'll run into problems when you come to snow blowing, but, I mean, I don't know, I don't know financially how that works out, but I think it's worth looking at.
See what it cost us last year.
And then, I mean, just comes to mind, I have no idea why, but across the street, Liz Derry's got all into that barn. I don't know how secure it is, but we could check around for a place to store the mower.
We want to ask Liz, I mean, I can.
You can, I mean, or, no.
It'd just be
It was
nice,
just an idea, that's
I
just,
never even thought about that.
it'd be nice to have the tractor in town where it can be driven, where it needs to go, instead of having
Not
to
only that,
constantly,
another time it'd be real handy.
instead of having to take 2 vehicles out to go get it.
They're gonna say when you do the sidewalks, you gotta have it somewhere handy.
Oh, yes, you got the garage,
So,
the garage over there.
Yeah, way down to the end. It's open on
so were you going to speak
Where's that?
to Liz?
Calvin Smith's place over here where the house
yeah.
burned. There's a, got a barn down back.
I think there's places if we check it
That's
out.
around here.
Okay. So was there anything else?
Yeah, that little garage is still there with her place in it.
Who?
Yes,
Right.
yeah, it is.
Probably just has a couple shrapnel holes in it. It's all right.
I wanted to just mention, as we're going through the timesheets and, where it's made out, the different things that you're doing, none of those are signed by you, and I would ask that you review all of those and sign them in the future. Tonight, I mean,
Oh, the bottom of the guy's sheets.
yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Another quick question I had was about, with like going over you guys' hours. You put a lot of time in checking roads.
We do. After big rains, we get a call. If we get a call for a limb down, like tonight, I'm late because there's a tree down.
There were 2 people recycling because the gate was open. When I went by at 5:15, I saw your truck, I saw the people putting stuff in the cans. I went by and your truck was there, and I thought, you must be on a call out.
I was on a
But
call.
because people have their trucks loaded, they wait for their gate to open.
Mutual aid called me, yeah. And we had one call for something else, well, then something else. So we went after roads, after big rains,
Well-
heavy winds.
On my calculation, when I get figuring it up, it's running somewhere around 10% of your guys' time, work time
Usually it
is,
takes about 3.5 hours a check. One day, you usually do 1 day a week.
but you've got 3.
But to go 60 miles?
The 3 of us,
Yeah.
I hit everyone.
3 different ways and it takes you that much time to do 60 miles a road?
Well, just one thing that I would ask is that, I mean, instead of us continuously paying for everybody to go out for 3 hours, can we just take some of those times and instead of compounding the bad issue with having maybe a little bit of mud or a rock roll in the road or a stick in the road, throw a saw in the truck and just cover an area and have like 2 people in one truck and just cut the stuff down and get it so that we don't have to keep paying to go around and look for a problem that might be there and might not be there. We could just circumvent hopefully one of the problems. I mean, obviously you can't circumvent a heavy rainstorm or high winds, but we could circumvent the high winds
I
with
write
the
on my
winds.
timesheet, high winds, heavy rain, I write the description.
Well, I can read it. That's why I'm bringing it up to you,
Right.
is because I obviously read that. Well, what my point is that instead of paying you guys to drive around with your arm out the window looking for a problem, bring a
So
chainsaw.
we do bring a chainsaw, we all bring rakes, we all pick up
Yeah,
stuff
but-
as we do it.
I'm asking to use them, not to just bring it, use them.
Alright,
So, Craig,
no.
I can't get into this.
Oh, no, of course you can. I wasn't paying any, I was just saying on that.
I can sit here and look at the pretty blue screen all I want, but,
But with that, 3 hours,
Yes.
it took, each man only has 20 miles of road to check.
Yep, I agree with you.
where is it?
Why that's highlighted. No, it's the one.
Yeah.
We don't want to get there.
You don't want to see, there's some things you don't want to see on here, believe me. Yeah, especially the big ones that's there.
Okay, just for those of you who don't know what's going on, there's some new video of some illegal dumping that's going on out at the, I can't make it any bigger.
If you hit that thing on top, it'll be bigger.
It's playing in a window. Oh, I did. I lied.
That should be pickup.
It's a Chevy Suburban. It's not a pickup,
It's like a Yukon, you know, it's
You'll
chrome
see
stripe
it,
on
you'll
the
see it
side.
come out.
But
And,
till you start locking that gate, you're gonna have that problem.
well, see, this one in particular was like taking a tarp, and I won't tell you what happened with the tarp. I found that out earlier, just so you know. Anyway,
Oh, the gate was open already.
that
The gate
was,
was open.
that was,
Somebody left it open.
that was when they went to get the
Went to
mower and left the
You're
gate
gonna
open.
have that until we get rid of the
But
recycling.
still, you're gonna have that if they find out that gate's not locked. You're gonna have that problem.
I can actually speed it up.
All they gotta pull up and just see that chain and unlock it and go in.
No, or stop it.
I know, I went through it, so I know.
Walk around the gate, I know. Hey, this isn't my first time either, I know. The gate's locked, they'll leave it there in front, or they'll walk around and dump it illegally.
But he took out,
Or they'll dump it down the pit,
he
or
takes
they'll
out
dump it
a,
outside the road. I know.
took out a rake, he took out a ladder, he took out numerous things here.
I picked everything up in 2 bags.
Yeah, there were two, at least one bag of crush, but it was actually our bag, was it not?
That was in our bag. I went through the bags. Craig went through the bags after I took his stick.
See, there goes the
Went
ladder.
through the bag, yep. And found one slip. It was from Rite Aid over in Pinnacle View Avenue in Walpole. That was it.
So that isn't working, so I can't.
I don't know whose car that is.
Well, see, nobody can really identify from this view. You will see the truck exit. And,
Did you look at the one too?
Do we get a video of it coming in?
no, they did not get it coming in. And after this activity stops, whatever, the dumping behind the recycling bins,
I try not to know
he actually pulls in over the side and
I go
was
here,
there for about
then I
20
go to
minutes
Camp Railing. That's it. That's it.
and goes through the
I
scrap
did go
metal
to your
pile.
auction the other day. It was the first time ever.
So he's probably taking
Just to
anything
watch
worth
it, yeah.
of any value in the
I
scrap
didn't know
metal
if he ordered his
as well.
flowers. I didn't know if he ordered his flowers.
Because you'll see him here shortly.
I was surprised. You can't even see the guy's face, I think.
Press and hold.
Next time,
Okay.
if you're coming down, let me know. I see you there. He tell you that?
See, now he's gonna get,
He was scared.
He was so proud.
Did he do it? Did he do it? He likes.
come on. Okay, now he's getting ready to leave. He was there for a fair amount of time.
You'll have to get down.
I will.
That'd be fun.
So now he pulls out, he goes over to the scrap metal, and like I said, he's there about 20 minutes, and then he pulls out. That's the side shot of the car. So again, my grandson's edited it for us so that it's a continuous loop, it just starts over again. Has edited this for us and so we can see it, but this is.
It's a dark blue.
It's a dark blue, like a Suburban type vehicle. So, this is one of the things, and then we had another incident that we need to talk about where we actually had an attendant on the premise, and we had somebody come in and drop off, a lawn ornament Santa Claus.
So what's wrong with that? You have a problem with Santa Claus?
Yeah, I do, I'm Scrooge.
Jeez.
Needless to say, they were going to put Santa Claus in the recycling bin, but the recycling bin wouldn't fit. It was full. But
It's not recyclable in there.
It's not, right.
I checked for the mark on it.
So technically, we've also got issues with people just putting whatever they can't get rid of.
Oh, yeah, they put it right into the bin.
Well,
You know,
but
we could take some of our time and just take it
down to
away.
district, getting a
Just
lot
get
of
rid of the recycling
contamination.
bin and the compactor and tell them to deal with their own stuff.
well, one of the issues that we have is we're paying an attendant, and we shouldn't have stuff being left there when we actually have somebody on premise.
Well, we seem to have ongoing issues with the attendant. At some point, we'll need to talk about that.
Maybe another 3 or 4 years. Or 2 or 3
Tonight,
different
I don't
board
care what
members.
you're talking about
So-
tonight, but you're gonna have to have an executive session.
So
Well,
one of,
yeah, it keeps going around and around in a circle, and it's like, I'd like to go back to my original vote and just get rid of the whole trash.
so one of the issues that we need to deal with is the illegal dumping that is going on.
Yeah.
The suggestion has been made to upgrade the video surveillance system. This has gotten fairly old. It's about 5 or 6 years old now.
I think we need to do that anyhow.
We should do it anyway, I agree.
And
Because it's, I didn't mean to
I've
interrupt.
got a mild idea who that is.
But it's not just illegal dumping, it's,
I mean, there
the
isn't so
two
many
trucks that
vehicles.
back in and loaded with sand and
yeah.
stuff like that, so. I mean, I think we need to enhance our security up there so we can identify and begin to prosecute. Once that gets out, that'll be that. That's what I think.
so at this point in time,
Very
again,
top.
make everybody aware of the fact that we do have cameras out there and you are being filmed. So if you really want to watch and you know you're doing it, you can watch the select board meetings and see your mug on TV. Anyway, so that was the trash piece. And then did the contract. So I have nothing else for you. Did you have a report that you wanted to give us?
Beaver deceiver, we built one, a beaver deceiver. And we're gonna install it as soon as this rains, so we can get the water down a little bit, so because we gotta get in the water. And Ed is the only one with hip waders. I don't have.
Do we have to pay him like hazardous pay or anything crazy?
We don't want him getting
With the
stuck there,
stickers?
exactly.
I'm gonna put a rope around it tonight.
Is that what the steel for?
Rough stick.
The steel for Knox went to materials and supplies equipment, that should probably go over to maintenance. It was the steel from Knox?
No.
The frame? No.
No, I bought that at Agway today, I called a couple
Oh,
different places at Agway today. And we started washing the bridges, we're gonna do that today, we're only supposed to shower a little bit, we got almost 3/4 inch of rain. So we only got 1.5 bridges done, and we're gonna continue with that, I wanna get the bridges done before Memorial Day.
You do our abutments underneath too?
Yeah, well, we only got,
I was gonna say, that was a big thing,
the slipper joints and stuff, yeah. We only got 1.5 done today, so it rained.
No, what I say, that was a big thing, I know that on the bridge inspection sheet, the bottom wasn't clean or whatever.
Right. So yeah, we'll put that beaver deceiver up on, if we get a couple, 2.5, 3 years out of it, that'll be a big savings for us, of time.
Okay.
And,
Is there anything else that you wanted to bring to our attention?
you know, I talked to Craig the other day, I gotta get the bids out for paving and crushing. We gotta get the RFPs out for that. we pretty much have it all set anyways from last year, the paving with the 2 sections we're gonna do there,
And the crush.
and the crushing, because we didn't crush last year either.
Did was there enough money set?
We did a half a load last year, I think. It was on a small, didn't we?
The year before.
Oh, it was the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but did we set, how much money was in the budget for,
You've got,
retreatment?
oh,
50?
I'd have to look on the retreatment.
Is it 50?
No, it's 80,
Is it 80? I can't remember that much.
yeah. For next year, it's 80.
And that's about it.
Okay.
The price of oil started going up, so I don't believe your price would be the same.
No,
Probably took days.
Yeah, it's up 10 cents.
asphalt will be, different asphalt will be.
Okay, well, thank you. If anybody has anything else?
How would you go to 35 and, wrapping up this section up here and
And East Hill.
East Hill, yeah?
Hopefully.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Then the other issue we have is the dog warrant for Warren, for all those unlicensed dogs. Is that all we have this year?
It's on the next page.
She said today.
I didn't even look at that.
Yep, and you'll recognize the names,
Huh,
oddly enough.
huh.
I'm not,
And she said, Joel back her up, she's called, I don't know how many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Called,
Oh, you got dog file?
well, can't we make that name public? Can we read that one down?
As soon as you sign it, it's a warrant for your constable, it's right, yeah, it's public document, if you want it to be.
So I would entertain a motion to,
You have to by law.
to sign the warrant for the constable to pursue the 4 unlicensed dogs in the town of Townsend.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd like to see where they are, not that it matters, but also I think that Vermont statute requires that we do this anyhow.
Well, yes.
It's not, well, it's not like us going after it, it's by Vermont statute.
That's your mayor.
Fucking big file. This is, it's 20 inches. Yeah. This is 3.5 inches.
I just always hate to do that, the dog's fault.
Well, that's pretty good size.
That's the double
It
do.
was a small.
Well, it's not the dog's fault,
He came
it's
in,
the owner's fault.
in on the spring.
depends
He
if
got
they-
stuck on the 14.
These two.
He wanted to-
In particular,
So,
they can't afford
He
it.
is, he wanted to, so he just had to go on.
Oh, how expensive is it to register a dog?
That's not Anyway, so
They had a grand old time out there.
all those in
And then-
favor of approving sending a warrant to Warren Beatty for the 4 dogs that are unlicensed, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. One abstention, motion passes with 1 abstention.
Small ears.
Okay, is there anything else? Because there's nothing else on the agenda. Craig?
There's no other, nothing
There's
else?
nothing else on the agenda.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, so we're adjourning at 7:26. Thank you.